to Munich in search for 3 points or in search of a spot with Europe's elite in this top competition. You already know that a win will put us through automatically without having to depend on the game between Benfica and Kiev. But can we also trust in our Ukrainian friends to lend us a helping hand? We're a moment away from finding out. It's the moment of truth. It's Bayern-Barça right here on Barça TV+.
Llavors això significa que és una final, que ho donarem tot, que intentarem competir al màxim, però sabent que els últims anys doncs, ens ha costat molt contra ells, que no hem guanyat mai, la història diu que no hem guanyat mai a Múnich, però bé, al final la història també està per trencar-la, no? I anem amb moltíssima il·lusió, moltes ganes, estem aquí amb molta il·lusió.
To the show where we are a mere 30 minutes away to see if Xavi's men can capitalize on this last chance that they have to qualify amongst Europe's elite. Before we get to today's studio panel and discuss everything we need to ahead of this match, let's head on over to Munich to connect with our Pitchside reporter, Mai Rostro, to find out the latest from the team, the starting 11, and as well, Mai, what the temperature is out there, because last that we saw, it is snowing over there. How are you doing?
Hello, Diego. We're doing well, but you're right. Feels like -2, is snowing a lot, is freezing. We'll feel like we're inside of a fridge or someone left the air conditioner pretty high right here because it's insane how cold it is. But we're ready. We are here, ready to face this match day 6 of the Champions League. So if you want, let's see now the starting 11 for Barça, because we're going to play today with Marc-André ter Stegen in goal, Araujo, Piqué, Lenglet, Jordi Alba in defense, Busquets, De Jong and Gavi in midfield, and then Dest, Memphis and Ousmane Dembélé up front. After 200 days, Dembélé is back in the starting lineup. Last time was in the last match day of last season. And today is a big day because it's the game 650 for our captain, Sergio Busquets. Back to you, Diego.
Well, thank you so much for that, Mai, and try to keep warm in the meanwhile, because we will be connecting you a little bit later before the game starts. But let me introduce to you, viewers, today's studio panel. We've got Andy West making his debut here on Barça Live Match Center. Welcome, Andy.
Nervous on my debut. Hope I bring luck.
Yes, well, we certainly hope so as well. We've got Robert van Eckhout. Hello, Robert.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to bring luck or not, because things haven't gone well so far this season. But we'll have to hope for it.
It's been tough. It's been tough. And Bruno Ballester, Bruno, the man of optimism. You surely will bring us some luck.
I have to recognize that I wasn't too optimistic a few weeks ago, but now every single minute that is early to the kickoff, I'm becoming more optimistic, and why not? I mean, we have number 1 in Munich, but why not? Tonight can be the night.
That's right. That's why we call him the optimism man. You see, Andy? You see? So let me ask you this, Andy. Do you have trust in this Barca team to get the job done, or do you think we'll be eyeing Kiev as well in the game in the Estadio La Luz, of course, to get a positive result there?
I think, being realistic, it's going to be very difficult to win in Munich against one of the best teams in the world. But we have seen promise, and particularly the game against Benfica, I thought was the path that Barca will want to follow: compact, aggressive, intense, playing at tempo. And I'm really interested to see the formation. We went through the team there, but
exactly,
I'm not sure it will be what we're seeing on screen here. It will probably be the back 3 with wing backs, Gavi left wing with Memphis in the middle, and Ousmane Dembélé. And the biggest cause of optimism for me is Dembélé, who has looked electric since he came back from injury. We know that Xavi believes in him, and if he has one of his nights, he could be the match winner. So Dembele is where I'm sharing, Bruno, your feelings.
Yes, the fact that he's playing, well, as you were mentioning, Andy, we will have to wait until kick-off.
Yeah.
But playing in the left, it's quite better, I think, for him. And I honestly like a little bit more to have Dembele there. Normally, it's Ansu Fati when he's, of course, in form, or other players. But having the possibility today to see Dembele there in the left, it's also, I think, something positive, because I think he can hurt more Bayern Munich from that side, because it's true that he uses well both left and right.
But he's so gifted
from
with
there,
both feet.
yeah.
Exactly. Robert, what do you think? What do you make of the formation? 4-3-3 or 3-4-3?
I have some questions as well. I think it's going to be very different, of course, when we're attacking, when we're defending. When Barca are in Bayern's half, Xavi's going to want to commit men forward, with Serginho Dest attacking on the right and Alba attacking on the left, maybe Gavi coming inside, Dembele having a little bit of freedom on either of the two wings. When Bayern Munich have the ball, Barca have to come back. Serginho Dest will definitely be expected to come back and help Ronald Araujo or Piqué, whoever's playing on the right. Jordi Alba will be expected to do the same on the left, even with the help of the likes of Gavi, for example. So I think the formation is it's going to vary throughout the game depending on where the ball is.
All right, well, we got a chance to hear from head coach Xavi Hernandez before the game, talking to Barça TV Plus exclusively. Let's take a listen.
Xavi, què tal? Bona nit.
Bona nit.
Ahir em deies, serem protagonistes, volem tenir la pilota, volem demostrar que som el Barça i som capaços de guanyar el partit d'avui. Primer de tot vull saber com has vist l'equip en aquests minuts previs, en aquestes hores prèvies, abans de començar aquest partit tan transcendent.
Bé, estan preparats, jo crec que estan amb una mentalitat i una predisposició molt bona, saben el que ens juguem, és un partit vital per nosaltres, una final, ahir ho parlàvem, intentarem ser protagonistes en el joc, veurem fins a on som capaços de competir, veurem també fins on ens deixa el Bayern de Múnich, que té un gran equip també, jugant al seu camp. Evidentment, el partit agafa una importància tremenda.
The game has tremendous importance, and it's going to be very key for us to get the 3 points to get through. We'll be very attent to what we do, and then we'll be seeing what happens in the other game.
Diferents sistemes, jugar de diferents maneres, però avui tens a l'11 un jugador que fins ara no havies pogut comptar amb ell de titular, com és Dembélé. Com pot condicionar també, no només el vostre joc, sinó també el rival, un jugador amb una posició tan específica com la seva?
Bé, és una peça important per nosaltres, està al 100%.
It's an important game for us. We need him at 100%.
Que s'ha d'atrevir en l'1 contra 1.
He's really good on the one-on-ones as well.
Per tant, no només el Dembélé, és un tema...
It's not just Dembélé. It's all about the team as well. We need to press in the opposition half.
Veurem fins on som capaços de...
We'll see how far we're able to go.
Fins a quin punt avui tens en compte també el factor mental, de saber que els jugadors estiguin pendents només del que passi en aquest partit, sabent que, a més, també hi ha un altre partit com és el Benfica-Dinamo, que també pot tenir influència en el desenllaç final.
Bé, per nosaltres ja et dic, per nosaltres la mentalitat és molt important.
For us, our mentality is really important. We need to be positive.
Aconseguir aquests vuitens de final.
We want to get through to the knockout stage of the competition. We need to compete well, we need to have personality, and this is what we all want. We're up against really tough opponents, though, we're aware of that.
The words there of head coach Xavi Hernandez ahead of this Bayern-Barça. And on that note, let's head back on over to Munich to find out the starting 11 of Nagelsmann's team, where we know that Nagelsmann has already implemented some changes. Mai.
Yes, Diego, indeed. But I will keep the sentence of Xavi, what he said yesterday and what he said today. This is a final for us. And even though we know that it's difficult to face one of the best teams in the world like Bayern, we have to do it today for sure. Julian Nagelsmann decided to start today with Neuer in goal, Pavard, Upamecano, Sullivan Davies in defense, Tolisso, Musiala and Müller in midfield, and up front Coman, Lewandowski and Sané. We said it yesterday. Of course, if we have Müller and Lewandowski on the pitch, we know what's coming, but for sure we need to keep our minds and what we have to do today, which is win, because it all depends on us. Back to you, Diego.
Thank you so much for that, Mai. And, well, gentlemen, no Kimmich, no Gnabry neither, but these other players that are substituting them must be also licking their chops at their opportunity to showcase themselves at the biggest stage.
And no Goretzka either.
And no Goretzka, of course, yes.
It's a fascinating lineup from Bayern, because they always play 4-2-3-1, two holding midfielders. But you look at this, And they've got 5 forwards out there. They are going for Barca. With Sané, we assume Sané and Coman on the wings, Müller in behind Lewandowski, and that will mean Musiala, who's an attacking midfielder or a winger normally, playing as the holding midfielder alongside Tolisso, unless it's a totally different shape. But however they line up with the personnel that he sent out, he's going for it. They want to attack Barca, and that's going to make it really fascinating to see how Barca play this game, because of course they have to win. Yeah. But you don't have to win the game in the first minute. And maybe Xavi will be thinking, let's stay in the game, give ourselves a chance, especially against this very attack-minded Bayern team.
Robert, is that what you're expecting as well? We discussed it yesterday in the countdown where we might not see, let's say, a gung-ho Barca, but maybe take a more relaxed approach.
I think that's going to be the case, yes. I mean, just one fact. All 4 games coached by Xavi Hernandez so far at Barca have gone to 0-0 at half-time, which means just take it slow. Don't be impatient. I think Barca need to come out and want it more. I think Barca need to try and impose their will from the beginning, but that doesn't mean hurrying things. It doesn't mean making rash decisions, wanting it to get the job done in the first 15 minutes of the game, because that's when Bayern can capitalise, because we saw at the weekend they score off of a mistake by Borussia Dortmund. Müller and Lewandowski can get the ball up the field in a question of seconds, and they can kill you there. So I'm surprised with this lineup as well. There was questions about Nagelsmann's idea towards this game. He said that he's going to go out and win. Of course. There were question marks about how many changes is he going to make in the lineup. It's just 2. Kimmich and Goretzka, both of them are out. Yeah. They are 2 important absences because they are the muscle and the creativity in that midfield. They are what allows that team to go forward with power. So we'll see how much they miss them. I hope Barca can gain control in midfield with the absence of both Kimmich and Goretzka.
All right, well, Bruno, before we get to you, let's head back on over to Munich to connect with Mai one more time, because Mai, this game is, of course, being played without fans in the stadium.
Exactly, Diego. Here we're going to be played behind closed doors, because we know that due to COVID, right now in Germany, they have a lot of restrictions, and one of them is to play this game behind closed doors. Is, I think, a good point, an advantage for Barca, because that means we're not going to have a good atmosphere in the stadium, so they can be a little bit more relaxed about that. But at the same time, it doesn't mean this is done, of course, and it doesn't mean that we're going to have things easy for us. But as you know, here in Germany, they're doing all these type of measures because the situation here is not good. They're doing that a lot in all the restaurants, hotel, every place. They ask you for the COVID vaccination or whatever you have as a document to prove you're COVID-free, you're okay. And right now we have to go inside to get ready for this match. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to give you my guess the score. I know it's too soon, but I will say like 0-2 could be a good result for us. I hope it could be that. If it's a draw, I just hope we can qualify to the next round and we can see each other in another part of Europe in the Champions League. So back to you, Diego, and we'll see you after the game.
Excellent, Mai. Thank you so much. And 2-0 to give your guests a score. We like that optimism, of course, but at this point, go run and find your seat in the Allianz Arena, and we'll connect with you after the game again.
Yes. I will see you after the game inside on the pitch.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So, Bruno, we talked about as well the fact that, of course, Barca doesn't necessarily have to win this game because one eye will be set on that game between Benfica and Kiev.
Absolutely. There are other probabilities, other possibilities. The standings, as you know, Barca are in second spot right now. Of course, if Barca wins, they will qualify for the next round for sure. Doesn't matter what happens there in Lisbon. But if Barca are not able to win this evening in Munich, there is one possibility, of course. Here we have the options. If Barca draw or lose and Benfica win, we will be out of the competition and we will have to play the Europa League. But if Benfica don't win, it doesn't matter the result actually in Munich, the team will qualify. So, of course, the most important thing is that Barca depends on themselves. But if you are not able to win, at least you have another possibility. And surprises have started in Europe, for example, to also be optimistic. Zenit 3-3 draw against Chelsea, a late goal in the 94th minute, that this means that Chelsea will finish second spot and not top of their group. And that's something important, of course, because, well, of course, they will now have the possibility to face Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Manchester City, not because they play in the same league, but, well, it was an important game, actually, for Chelsea, and they drew against Zenit. No one expected about the former champions of the Champions League.
Well, I believe in miracles, Bruno. I certainly believe in miracles. Let me stay with you for this next one as well, because a lot has been made, of course, about Goretzka and Kimmich not playing, how that might perhaps be an advantage for Barca. But the two players substituting them, again, I was asking Andy as well, might be seeing this as a golden opportunity for them to showcase their talents.
Absolutely. They have absences. We also have absences. For example, Pedri, our golden boy, he's not in Munich, but at least he has sent a message there to the team with our all con todo. Of course, you can. The message, the motivation here, Pedri, that of course is one of the important players that also Barca won't be able to have today in the field. But well, this is the message that he has sent to the teammates, and I'm sure that he will be with an eye in also both games. I'll imagine today at home. Pedri, of course, it's a shame that he's not available today.
I was looking at footage of the game that we played at Camp Nou and saw that Pedri was battling there with Upamecano. It feels like forever ago since we last saw Pedri play. I think his last game was against Benfica this season. So obviously Barca with some key players out, Bayern Munich as well. I think it's 5 injuries for each team.
Okay.
I think the fact that there are no fans in the stadium is a benefit for Barca. Xavi said yesterday in the press conference, he was diplomatic. He said, we play for the fans. It's a shame that they won't be here. And I think that I feel there will be no benefits for us. I think it does slightly benefit Barca that Bayern don't have that extra energy coming from their fans, pushing them forward when they don't necessarily need the win. It's only for their pride that they want to win this game.
Yeah. What do you think, Andy?
I think particularly towards the end of the game, if it's still close, if it's the last 15 or 20 minutes, it's 0-0, 1-1, and Bayern are starting to think, getting a bit tired. They won't have that extra push then when Barca will be more motivated than ever, of course, in the latter stages, if they still have a chance to win. So it could well have an impact positively for Barca.
Well, we're seeing images here of Barca partaking in their training session of this morning. Nice and cozy, keeping warm in what seems like the hotel lobby, doing their stretching and partaking in their, an unusual, let's say, setting for a training activation session, as they call it.
Well, yeah, but they were going to go out to the training fields, but it was just so cold out there that the coaches
Xavi got outvoted.
Yeah, exactly.
We're staying in here.
And they felt that it was unnecessary to just make the players go through that. They were out on the field yesterday, as we can see right now on our screens, in the training session at the venue of the game, which, as we said yesterday, I think is very important. The players get accommodated to where they're going to be playing the game, especially in the cold conditions. It's very different in Munich than in Barcelona. So I think that it's important that the players got to tread the football arena, we're supposed to say today, football arena turf yesterday, to get into game mode quicker.
And you think we'll be playing with the orange ball today?
Well, it's snowing.
It is snowing.
We'll have to see how the field conditions are, but of course it's one possibility because I think it was snowing outside, and well, we'll have to see it. Shortly, we will know it.
Well, why don't we connect with our central defender Gerard Piqué to hear the latest from him ahead of this Bayern-Barça.
Well, we are very concentrated, very motivated in order to win tomorrow. We know the only result is the win in order to be alive for the next round of the Champions League. So, yeah, we are pretty much focused to try to make a good game, to try to score goals and to generate chances in order to win the 3 points. It will not be easy. We know that Bayern Munich is for sure one of the best clubs and teams in Europe, and they are playing really well. But I think that at the end of the day, we put ourselves in this position, where the only way is the victory, and we will try to, as I said, to beat them and qualify for the next round.
The words there of Gerard Piqué, one of the goal scorers, of course, for Barça so far in this group stage. Can we expect Gerard Piqué that might be pushing forward? We, of course, know that Xavi likes to play in the opponent's half.
If it's close in the late minutes, we know where he's going to be.
Hopefully not, because this will mean that things will
Only
go
if things
quite
are going badly.
Exactly. I quite like what Piqué said yesterday. We've put this ourselves in this situation. It's our own fault. We need to get out of it. I think
a lot of self-criticism.
The self-criticism there is positive. He also said some interesting things in the press conference, especially when he was asked about Robert Lewandowski. Is he a problem for Barca? And he said, of course, he's one of the best strikers in the world. And the tactic there that Barca will have to try and implement is to try and keep him as far away as possible from their goal. That means that Barca need to play in Bayern's half, but not too casually, because we know that off of mistakes, Lewandowski, Müller, all of them are really fast and they can kill you.
It's exactly that. So, Bruno, you want to say?
No, by the way, that if Gerard Piqué sees a yellow card, he will miss next match in the competition. And also Gavi is in the same situation for Barca, Lucas Hernandez for Bayern Munich. Hopefully, let's see if we can continue, of course, in the competition, and this can affect. But I don't think they are thinking about this right now, probably just on today's game, but something also to take into account.
Andy, we heard from both Xavi and in this case Gerard Piqué talking about ways to stop or to perhaps damper at least the threats that Bayern pose and keeping Lewandowski as well at bay, of course, far away from the 18-yard box. But how do you think Xavi will go about doing that?
It's a difficult one. He has two choices: to defend his penalty area. The danger of that is that you allow Lewandowski to get close to goal, which, as you say, Robert, Barca will not want to happen. So then you squeeze high up the pitch, try to condense the field of play in Bayern's half. But the danger there is that you leave yourself open to the counter-attack, the pace of Coman and Sané. So it's not easy to contain Bayern because they have this varied threat. They're not just a team that has to have the ball. They can also play on the counter-attack. And how Barca go about this game is, I think, the most fascinating thing to see. From the opening whistle, will it be a high press, trying to constrict the space on the field, or will they respect that counter-attacking ability of Bayern and just look to protect their own goal?
I was going to ask a question. Are Barca interested in a slow-paced game today? Because you don't want to go back and forth with Bayern Munich.
Yeah, that's true.
They're good at everything.
They're very good at everything. So I think Barca will do well to try and slow the pace down a little bit, try and keep the ball as much as possible, try and play it safe in the safe areas, and then once you get to their box, try and play that risky pass that Xavi wants. The one that he said the other day in press conference. You're not at Barca to play the safe pass. You want, once you're in an area where you can potentially score or create an opportunity, play the risky pass. That's all right up there. But when you're in midfield, in those midfield areas, just try and keep the ball, keep it safe, not force any mistakes, not allow them to hit you in transition. And I think, as Andy was mentioning before, try and get that game to a 70-minute situation in which Bayern are already a little bit out of energy. They haven't got the support of their fans. They haven't really got anything at stake, and then you can capitalise. I think it was kind of what Gerard Piqué was saying yesterday in the press conference as well. The idea, for him at least, was to keep a clean sheet and take your opportunities. If it's 1-0, it's 1-0.
The problem probably,
Bruno, and of course for Barca, in order to capitalize on these moments that Robert was highlighting there, we hugely depend on our number 9, Memphis, who has yet to score in the Champions League. Let's hope that he can do it tonight.
It's a big game, and we want to perform in big games. So I think the focus needs to be really high, and the intensity of the game also. It's our last chance, to get through. So it's like a final. We have to mentally prepare very well together and to give everything to get the result. Yeah, of course, we want to get revenge, and I think that's our last chance to get that. So we have to prepare, and I think we have to put that in our mindset as well, that we want to win there.
The words there of Memphis Depay, our number 9. And let me now go back to Bruno so you can finish your thought.
I was going to say, of course, it's a good scenario to the one that Robert was mentioning, but I don't really expect. I think that today is going to be a day of goals in both sides. Lewandowski is really motivated, of course, to get his record to score in the whole 6 games of the Champions League group stage. And I think that Barca to win will need to score one more goal than Bayern, because I think it's going to be tough today to keep a clean sheet, honestly.
On that note, Bruno, we heard from Mai. She's going for 2-0 for Barca. Can we get your guess to score?
2-1 for Barca.
2-1 for
yes.
Barca. Okay, Robert?
Well, I'm going for that result that I just talked about, that 1-0, which will be enough to get us through to the next Champions League phase.
You're happy with that?
I'm going to go on the Barca app,
yes,
by the way.
Yes, no.
Before kickoff.
Yes, of course, Andy. But wait, I mean, let me inform our guest as well about this guess the score, something that is unknown to you until now. We are here on Barça TV Plus have got a fun game, Andy. It's called Guessing the Score. It's part of the Matchday challenge, where you, of course, the viewers at home can also participate by either going to the Barça website or downloading the app as well, and win prizes. If you guess the score right, and the more points you accumulate, you have chances to winning Barça shirts, and eventually as well, at the end of the season, a trip for two right here to the Ciudad Condal, to Barcelona itself, and watch a Clásico, not this season, but for the next season. So pretty nice prizes there, Andy, huh?
Not bad at all, yeah. Trip to the Clásico, yeah.
Yes. Your guess the score.
I don't like to upset everyone and go against everyone on my debut especially, but I'm going to say 2-0 Bayern. They're too strong, and my hope for Barca for this game, obviously getting through would be wonderful, but competing, pride, going out at least with a strong performance, but I think Bayern will be too strong.
I hope that you're predicting a 1-0 Dynamo Kiev win then. And that gets us through to the next Champions League.
1-1 draw, you take that?
1-1 draw. All right. No, we'll take that. Benfica not winning is all that we need right now.
That is.
On the Barca app right now, the most voted result by fans is 2-1 Barca, 33% of the votes. And my prediction, the 1-0 is voted by 13% of the fans.
All right.
We've got some pessimists in there with 7% of the votes going to a 3-1 Bayern.
Oh, okay.
Get them out of there. Get them out of here.
Yeah, we don't need those on the app. The players are slowly but surely getting out of the tunnel. Robert, should we go over the starting 11s one more time?
Let's do that. Let's get them on our screens right now. Barca will be starting tonight in Munich with Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal. Defensive line of 4 with Araujo, Piqué, Langlais and Jordi Alba. In midfield, Sergio Busquets, Frenkie de Jong and Gavi. Up front, Dest, Memphis and Ousmane Dembélé. Our opponents, Bayern Munich. We'll start with the following 11. Manuel Neuer in goal. Pavard, Upamecano, Sule and Davis at the back. 3 midfielders in Tolisso, Musiala and Müller. Up front, Koeman, Lewandowski and Sané. Right, so the players have just jumped onto the field, empty stadium in Munich, and
Diego. See that, huh? I mean, that kind of, it reminds us obviously of.
It's a throwback.
Exactly.
Throwback.
Throwback to times we don't really want to remember. Diego, we'll see you after the game.
Good luck, gentlemen. Yes, I'll see you on the other side.
Enjoy it, and hopefully we have something to celebrate on the other side, as you say. Barca playing in the yellow kit today. Bayern Munich playing the traditional red. Bruno, you were going to say?
Yeah, snowing a little bit, but not orange ball. They are playing with the standard ball. About the snow and the weather conditions, news in the Atalanta-Villarreal game that is going to start and kick off 20 minutes later at 9:20 because of the conditions of the field. It's snowing a lot in up north in Italy, in Bergamo, really close to Milano. So, it will start a bit later. I don't know, because the other game, it doesn't affect actually the Man United young boys, fortunately. So, it can start a bit late and no problems at all for what's going to happen in this fight for the second spot. But, let's see, because around Europe, weather conditions are a bit complicated.
Well, one thing we can add about the pitch, though, is that it's looking absolutely fine.
Yes.
The Allianz Arena, one of the best stadiums you'll find in the world, and obviously they've got all the technology you need to look after the pitch, so no problems about the playing surface.
Definitely. Well, we're just a minute away from getting this game started. Andy, impressions of what you think Barca need to do right from the get-go?
Start with intensity, because this Bayern team is being sent out to score goals. With 5 attacking players in the lineup, they really want to put their foot on Barca's throat and not give them a chance. So it's going to be very challenging right from the beginning, and Barca need to be able to stand up to that. I don't mean, when I say start well, I don't mean going and scoring goals in the first few minutes, creating chances, but being competitive, being intense, matching Bayern.
Yes, and Bruno, I was looking at the highlights of the game played at Camp Nou, and obviously Bayern Munich outpowered Barca throughout the full 90 minutes, but in that first half an hour before they score their first goal, and they're a little bit fortunate in that goal, the Müller shot which bounces off of Eric and bounces in, I thought Barca went fairly toe-to-toe with them, not allowing them to create very many opportunities. It is true that Barca struggled to create their chances, but that should kind of be the idea.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that those minutes were quite good for Barca and Bayern. Of course, this mental point that they are already qualified as top of the group. Let's see if this can affect them a little bit. This is a team that has lost this season at home against Frankfurt. They also disconnected in the cup, losing 5-0 against Mönchengladbach with a strong 11, and they were not playing with the substitutes. So let's see if in this aspect they also are not focused on the game at 100% and they disconnect a little bit, and also we can